Fournier out there with Fultz, and it's Isaac in at the 3 spot. And for Toronto, Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Fred VanVleet out there with Norman Powell, and it's Gasol in at the center position. Here's Anunoby. Offline with his 3. Isaac with the ball. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Here's VanVleet. Fournier pulls it down. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
Well, solid at recognizing when to attack on the interior. Fournier staying aggressive.
VanVleet passes to Anunoby. Now here's VanVleet, guarded by Fultz.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
Gordon trying to break loose. Up top Powell, guarded by Fultz. VanVleet looking around. The pass to Siakam. 6 to shoot. A shot missing. Great D that time from Vucevic.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Fournier into the lane. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
What a skilled finish from Evan Fournier. The experience and the toughness to overcome the defense.
The Magic shooting their first free throw of the evening. That one misses for Fournier.
Boy, guys, you think about the turnaround in Orlando last season. One of the big parts of that turnaround, obviously, was the great production they got out of the center position.
Now, here's Gasol. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game to the wing right side. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at the Raptors. So far, they've got the 4th best record in the conference. And, of course, there's the Magic. They find themselves in the 7th spot.
And I think for Toronto, they've done a good job staying relevant this season. I mean, I was concerned they'd suffer a drop-off, but give them credit. They've hung in here in this playoff race.
A resiliency has been crucial for this team. Anytime it looks like they may start to drag a little bit, they've picked it back up and stayed in the hunt.
Anunoby. Now here's VanVleet. He's tightly guarded. It's Gasol missing. Doors for the Magic last year. Vucevic putting up career numbers.
Boy, Kev, he was dynamite. Averaged over 20 points a game for the first time in his career, and he combined that with 12 rebounds. Consider that came after this organization drafted a center in the lottery, Mo Bamba. So what's the future for those two?
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
And looking to stop this run and get back for Nikola Vucevic. He's around 18 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he brings it for them every game on the offensive end.
Well, I think you can tell he relishes this role, being the catalyst on the offensive end, night in and night out.
Passes it to Anunoby. They need this one. VanVleet can't get it to go.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the 3. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Now here's Fultz. Coming off a solid outing against Washington. Goes up from the top of the key. Kept alive. Vucevic. And another shot. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
This is Powell at his best. In attack mode, he is hard to stop.
And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. Pass to Gordon. And here's Fultz. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. It's rebounded by Anunoby.
Right now trying to get into a rhythm, but so far this quarter, boy, he is struggling to make anything go down.
Here's the floater. That shot off the mark. Great D that time from Vucevic. Outside Fournier. Inside Gordon. Misses from close range.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. And now let's turn to the 2K leaderboard for a look at the squads that have the most points in transition over the past 10 games. Number 1, the Raptors.
I mean, no doubt for me that they've hit their stride the last few weeks. I mean, they are punishing the defenses with that up-tempo style. As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
Here's Van Vliet following the three-pointer by Orlando. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make, he is 1 for 4.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
And the shot goes in from Fultz. And through his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Marc Gasol made a total of 12 three-pointers. Nowadays, Greg, he'll make more than that in a month.
and you ask around, he's always been capable. A great shooting touch. It's just a different job description for big men nowadays.
Siakam misses.
I'll tell you, most of the time this guy's going to finish that. But that was tremendous defense that prohibits him from completing the play.
Stolen by Van Vliet. Powell, that's good. Powell's got his second bucket tonight.
And that's how you do it, guys. Ball pressure and then get some runouts.
Now here's Fultz, covered by Van Vliet. Puts it up from 12. Fultz, no good.
Well, they have the advantage, but you still feel like this guy needs to find a way to get himself going.
And Siakam throws it down.
Well, Mr. Siakam can elevate well above the rim. Nicely done.
Here are the Magic now, after the Raptors pick up 2. Now here's Fournier, who's coming off a 25-point game against Washington. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
What a polished offensive game. Fournier cashing in from the mid-range.
Here's Van Vliet. His last outing, he had 24 points. Pass to Anunoby. Siakam looking around. Outside Gasol. No good on the triple.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Isaac kicks to Fultz. Here's the teardrop, and he sinks the layup. Now it's a 7-point Magic lead.
Well, this is what's evolving over time, right? Markelle Fultz running the pick and roll, such a precise play.
Van Vliet can't get it to go.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
Last outing for Toronto, unsuccessful. It was a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
Well, they made a few key shots, but missed many more. It was a rough night for them offensively.
You know what, Greg? There was a lot of standing around in that basketball game. Failing to move bodies and failing to move the basketball is a bad formula.
Now here's Fultz. He has 6, and the foul called on OG Anunoby. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Raptors. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for OG Anunoby. Davis is subbed in for Powell. Orlando also making some changes. Al Farouk Aminu He's checked in for Jonathan Isaac. Terrence Ross comes in for Evan Fournier. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Fultz. Augustine finds Gordon. Back to Augustine. Rejected by Gasol.
What defensive instincts. What timing by Marc Gasol. Nice block.
Raptors trail by 9. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Siakam against Ross. Vucevic with the block.
Well, the reach, the timing, Vucevic using all of that 7'4" wingspan to turn that shot away. This is a quarter he'd rather forget. This guy just can't seem to get the lid off of that bucket.
Now here is Augustine. He had 13 points in the win against Washington. Ross against Siakam. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Some changes for Toronto. Boucher is checked in, and it's Stanley Johnson in for Pascal Siakam. And a change for the Magic. Bamba's checked in. Toronto's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside.
Guys, how about the journey of the Raptors' Nick Nurse? So well traveled before taking the head.
Here's Boucher. Outside, Davis. Here's Hollis Jefferson. The pass to Van Vliet. Back to Hollis Jefferson. Shot clock at 6. And again, Toronto no up.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
Now Aminu. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Augustine with it. Passes to Ross. Here's the 3. Boucher with the rebound.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Van Vliet passes to Hollis Jefferson. Trying to get something going. And it comes off the front of the rim. Magic leading by 9. And here's Augustine. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Pass to Ross. Vucevic with it. Ring shot on the way. Good on the jump shot. And the Magic lead by 11. Here's Davis. Now here's Van Vliet. He kicks to Davis. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. And he banks in the layup.
Well, the big man muscles there. Hollis Jefferson experienced at having to fight his way through the defense.
Augustine up top, covered by Van Vliet. Augustine passes to Vucevic. Tipped away. Stolen by Van Vliet. In the corner, Hollis Jefferson. The shot that time, not on target. And Orlando the other way now. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
I think a lot of people were surprised by that result because on paper, you didn't think that that game would be that competitive.
Carter Williams, he's checked in for Vucevic. 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Augustine. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. 3 on the clock. With some arc. Offensive rebound. And there's the pass to Ross. Another miss by Orlando. Left side, Davis. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's the Orlando Magic ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Back to the action after this word. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And when you consider how the Magic are doing, what do you think?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
Here's Augustine bringing it up now for Orlando. Last time they came together was in Toronto, where they fell to the Raptors.
Yeah, and they got beat last time these two teams met, and really free throws were the story.
We've got Davis. Johnson is out there with Hollis Jefferson. Then it's Fred VanVleet. And it's Boucher in at the 5 down low. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
Well, think about it, guys. For years, the Raptors have been unable to translate all of that regular season success to dominance in the playoffs. But last season, they changed that narrative. Now it's, excuse me, we are the defending champion Toronto Raptors.
Here's Augustine after the Raptors pick up 2. And Bamba with the basket on the assist by Augustine. Bamba's got the lead up to 11 now for Orlando. And that focus on playoff results, Doris, something that Toronto embraced, wouldn't you say?
Oh, my goodness, no doubt. We saw it in their methodical approach to the regular season. They were selective with their rest for Kawhi Leonard. They stayed patient. They built chemistry. And it turned into results, the ultimate results in June.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Making free throws a big key for any team. Let's see the best in the NBA. The Raptors in second.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want to foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
The Magic shooting their second and third shots at the line right here. The first one falls. A lot of competitors in this league, Doris, and you've got to be that way to play at this level. And I know you have a list of competitors that you admire a lot.
It's those guys, Kevin, who have that insatiable desire to win. The guys who absolutely despise losing, who it almost hurts. It's painful physically. Giannis Antetokounmpo is driven to be great. He wants an NBA championship. LeBron James has got multiple titles and continues to pursue greatness. What I love about great NBA players, it's never enough, Kevin.
Here's Boucher. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Davis kicks to VanVleet. Clock at 6. From deep. Augustine grabs the board.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
Now, here's Aminu. This is the most they've led by 13 points. For Toronto, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Pass to VanVleet. Pass to Boucher. 6 to shoot. VanVleet passes to Davis. Here's Johnson. Missed inside.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Now here is Augustine. Not a lot of room. Now the Raptors moving it up. There's Hollis Jefferson. Off the mark, and the drought continues.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Augustine from outside. Rebound by the Raptors. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the Magic broke a 6-season playoff drought. Nick Vucevic was the franchise's first All-Star in 7 seasons. It's been a long rebuild from the Dwight Howard era. We'll see where the team goes from here, but Kevin, they're happy to just be playing games that matter night in and night out.
All right, thank you very much, David. And so here's Orlando. The Raptors knocking down the tray. Now, Ross. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Washington.
Well, in addition to the scoring, he found ways to initiate contact from the defense and get himself to the line. The defense clearly frustrated trying to get a way to stop him.
And a chance now to look at the schedule coming up for the Toronto Raptors. On Monday, they'll host the Charlotte Hornets. And then on Wednesday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic.
And for that game against the Hawks, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
And it's DJ Augustine with the foul. That's his first foul. And the Raptors making a change here. Fouls checked in. Evan Fournier's checked in for Orlando. Here's Davis. Here's Johnson, and it's denied. But they'll get another chance. Just 5 on the clock. Hollis Jefferson finds Powell. Shoots over Carter Williams. Misses off the right iron.
Well, terrific defense. They obviously respect his ability and just want to make it tough.
And the dunk by Bamba.
And Kev, this is exactly what you expect from DJ Augustine. This is why coaching staffs love him. He makes everyone better.
Now here is Davis. Pass to Powell. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Stolen by Bamba. And up the court come the Magic on the break. And Fournier kicks to Carter Williams. Six on the shot clock. Here's Aminu. His three-pointers off the mark. Raptors trail by 12.
So the term unicorn has arisen for shot blockers who can also space the floor. Mo Bamba on that list, guys.
And coming in, Mo Bamba comparing his game to that of Joel Embiid's. Doris, you see that?
Well, I've heard others mention Rudy Gobert with a three-point shot, and that might be a closer comparison. We're going to have to watch and see what Mo Bamba hangs his hat on both the offensive and defensive end. Comparison's a bit early at this point.
That free throw good from Hollis Jefferson.
One of the things you have to love, Kevin, about Hollis Jefferson is his energy. You know he's going to give you everything he's got on a night-by-night basis.
Marc Gasol is checked in for Toronto. Pascal Siakam comes in for Johnson. The Magic also changing it up. Gordon comes in for Michael Carter-Williams. And Markelle Fultz is subbed in for Augustine. He doesn't get the second one.
In Toronto, choosing their team name back in '94, the fans helped them narrow it down, and with dinosaurs all over the silver screen, it helped tilt things towards the Raptors.
And we all remember those early uniforms, those giant velociraptors across the front. Fortunately, they've toned it down a bit since then.
Out of Cameroon, Pascal Siakam drastically improved last year, Doris. Is he the prototypical modern power forward?
He is, Kevin, and there's a few reasons why. The guy can rip and run. He can space the floor. He is switchable on the perimeter defensively. He can go inside, outside. Everything you want in terms of versatility, Pascal Siakam brings to the table.
Shooting two.
First one falls for him.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam got better in every statistical category.
Anunoby, he's checked in for the Raptors. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt. The 27th pick back in 2016, now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
And the Raptors with the ball, following the miss by Evan Fournier. Knocked away, stolen by Bamba. Aminu with the bucket. Aminu's got the lead up to 14 now for the Magic.
And with the pace of today's game, transition defense is at a premium.
I don't think anyone was catching him on that play. That is unbelievable.
Now, here's Siakam. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Dallas.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
The Raptors shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Doris, if you had to list a player with all the great talent in this league that's the most difficult to stop one-on-one, who would that be?
Well, like in similar situations, I can't give you just one. Some names that come immediately to mind, James Harden, obviously, has been in the MVP race for 5 years running, I think. He's virtually impossible to guard, right? He's got a great system for his individual skills. Kevin Durant can get any shot he wants at any time. And then the virtuoso that is LeBron James, who can pick you apart with shooting, with scoring, with passing. He's really nothing short of remarkable.
Now here's Fultz. He's got 6. There's the dish to Vucevic. Now the pass to Isaac. Magic moving the ball around. Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Davis. From deep three-point range, and it's Toronto with the rebound. Gasol's got 6 rebounds in the game. Powell against Fournier. Count it, and the Orlando lead has been cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Powell.
Put it on the deck, get by the defender, Norman Powell on the dribble drive. Okay, I see you.
Now here's Fultz to the paint. Here's Vucevic, and the jumper from down low is good. Vucevic has got 6 points.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Powell. Vucevic with the block, and he gets it back. Gasol, no good.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Now here's Fournier, one of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Powell with it. Passes it to Gasol. Shoots over Isaac. Rebounded by Isaac.
He's so frustrated. Hasn't had a make all game. It's making it very difficult for them to find any success.
He dishes it to Vucevic. With the second effort. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. They get Marc Gasol.
Let's remember, we're talking about a fundamentally sound player. Nikola Vucevic gifted at fooling defenders with that pump fake.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic. An offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
And that one misses. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves, terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros, a response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
And the second free throw, good.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Siakam against Vucevic, and Siakam throws it down.
Well, Pascal Siakam's handle has gotten tighter, and that makes a dribble drive a problem for the defender.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Davis. Fournier for three. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, I absolutely love the way this guy has controlled the pace tonight. They've been able to play the style they want.
Now here's Davis. Here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
I'll tell you, once Marc Gasol gets to the rim, turn the lights out.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Davis. Pass to Fournier. And Gasol sends it back. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Here are the Magic now. And it's Gordon missing.
And smothered him on that mid-range attempt.
Well, he sees the play developing, takes care of his responsibility. Just terrific job defensively.
Powell finds Gasol. Shoots over Isaac. Good on that shot. And with that, the Magic lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Gasol. 1:49 left now here in the second. Powell against Fournier. Here's Fultz. And it's Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
Woo-hoo, the leaping ability of Norman Powell. Throw it down, sir.
Magic leading by 8. And here's Fultz. He has 6. Outside Fournier. And no good. But close on that one, so he'll shoot 2. It's going to be on Siakam.
Well, Evan Fournier proving adept right in that instance of making the defense bite and put him at the free throw line.
And this will be his 2nd and 3rd shots at the line here.
He's been doing really nice work at the line. 83%.
And that one falls with Fournier.
Guys, how about the Magic making the playoffs last year for the first time in 7 years? And think about how much qualifying did for their confidence moving forward.
The Raptors making a switch here. Van Vliet's checked in. And so Fournier nails both of them. And talking about that postseason, Orlando ran into a buzzsaw in Kawhi Leonard.
Well, Kawhi was fantastic, and he gave Aaron Gordon and Jonathan Isaac a glimpse into what it's like to operate at a championship level. Sometimes your opponent teaches you how to build on what you have started to begin and formulate in your own organization. The future is bright.
2 on the clock. The shot by Powell, no good. Magic leading by 10.
And a 2-for-1 is there for them if they want it.
Well, you're trying to end the quarter the right way. It takes awareness and it takes discipline.
And Vucevic throws it down.
He's got the size to make that an easy finish. Vucevic, deep position, and he's golden.
Now here's Van Vliet. He has 7. Pass to Anunoby. Here's Siakam. Lays it up and banks it in. Siakam's got 7 now in this quarter.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Down low. Here's Vucevic. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. And it's Fultz with the ball for the Orlando Magic. Tipping off the second half. Here's Steve Clifford's 5. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Fultz. And it's Isaac into the small forward. Now here's Fultz. Stolen by Van Vliet. Fast break Toronto. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And boy, he gets a great jump on the rest of the field there and just leaves them behind.
You love the awareness, the decisiveness. Great job there.
And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred VanVleet's not the biggest, but his toughness grade. His toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
And that one misses.
And last season, the first ever NBA Finals for the Toronto Raptors.
What a tremendous run, Greg. Think about it. In the Eastern Conference Finals, they go down 0-2 before winning 4 straight to close out the Bucks. And forget about the city of Toronto. The entire country of Canada was on fire for Raptors basketball. And how do they reward them? NBA championship.
One shot.
And that one falls for Fournier. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you. And you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst. Breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
You throw good. Siakam.
And I'll tell you guys, the leap that Pascal Siakam has taken has really been fun to watch. From role player to emerging star. And guys, he's not done growing yet.
Raptors trail by 10. Powell, the pass to Van Vliet. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Undrafted out of Wichita State, Fred VanVleet, never the most heralded player, Doris. But you know, he says he bet on himself, and it's worked.
No doubt. VanVleet's belief in himself gets him a 2-year, $18 million contract. But I think beyond that, this man, in the moments that mattered most in the playoffs, proved that Fred VanVleet will deliver.
And he makes the first. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And you look at this Magic roster, so much potential.
I think, Greg, they have done a great job of drafting to the style of play they want to play. Guys who want to get after it on the defensive end. Guys who can switch and slide on the perimeter. Guys who can protect the rim. That is the backbone of this organization.
Powell with the steal. One-on-one fast break. Here's Anunoby, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Anunoby's got his first bucket in this one.
Wow, what a start to this half. 3 for 3, dictating the pace on the offensive end. They're rolling early.
Outside Fournier. Shoots over Powell. Here's Vucevic. Another shot. Gordon trying to break loose. And Vucevic with the layup. Vucevic has got 13.
A good job by him on the glass.
here tonight. +8 in that department.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son Philip was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball." I think he will. Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report. Now, here's Isaac. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Siakam kicks to Powell. That misses off the backboard.
And his lateral quickness really allows him to stay in front of the shooter there and challenge the shot.
And this is the key. In this game, you've got to be able to move your feet to be successful on the defensive end.
Fournier for three. It's rebounded by Anunoby. Anunoby's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Powell, that's good.
Well, this guy's very capable of capitalizing close to the rim. Norman Powell making an impact inside.
Fultz looking around. And the pass to Gordon. Inside, here's Vucevic. Gasol with the defensive effort.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Here are the Magic now. The Raptors getting the bucket. Fultz the pass to Isaac. Back to Fultz. Outside Gordon. 4 on the clock. It's deflected.
I'll tell you, Siakam has the ability to intimidate offensive players. How about that one? Send it back.
Right wing. Here's Anunoby. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. It's stolen by Fultz, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. Folks, let's use this break to see who's leading the league in blocks. These are the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. You look at Isaac, 2nd in the NBA, a great defender.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Well, obviously a rough start to the career of #1 pick Markelle Fultz. The shoulder injury sort of takes away his shooting ability when the Sixers trade him away. You're rooting for this young man to get back to his game.
Two.
The first one falls. And some have said, Doris, for Fultz, not just physical issues dogging him early on.
Well, I think you have to consider, Kevin, when you are the #1 overall pick, extraordinary pressure comes with that. So now with a new team, perhaps that fresh start gives Markelle Fultz an opportunity to showcase his big-time talent.
Siakam hits them both.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic.
And what is crazy is that these numbers might not even do his game justice. He's been phenomenal.
Feels like every night this guy does something that just blows your mind. So fun to watch, someone the other players look up to.
And stolen by Siakam. For the tie, Bamba with the block.
That is a combination of length and defensive instinct. Send it back, Mo Bamba.
Passes it to Fultz. Over to the left wing. Now Carter Williams. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Siakam outside. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Mohamed Bamba.
We have seen Pascal Siakam's confidence improve dramatically. This guy is becoming a problem as a scorer.
This will be his 5th trip to the free throw line.
And what a performance he's put in at the free throw line.
The first free throw is good. And it's tied up with that one. And it's Carter Williams with the ball for the Magic. To the wing on the left to end the drought. Fultz, no good.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
Siakam finds Van Vliet. And trying for the go-ahead basket, it doesn't go in. Orlando's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third, still 0 for 3. And stolen by Siakam. Powell, no one around him. Off target from three-point range. The Magic shooting pretty terrible here in the third quarter at around 30%. Fultz with the ball. He's got 6. Clock at 4. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And Fultz doesn't fear physical contact. I think that's what makes him special. When he's knifing to the rack, he's ready to take on the hit from the defense.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
And with a percentage of 82, he's been one of their more dependable shooters from the line.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, think back to the 2017 draft, guys. Some were surprised to see Markelle Fultz be the first pick. And when you think back on that draft, there's certainly a lot of what-ifs.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Siakam. Davis is subbed in for Norman Powell. No good on the second free throw.
Well, you think about the solid first year Steve Clifford had coaching the Orlando Magic. This team had a solid season with a great leap on the defensive end of the floor. Clifford once again showing he is a great defensive mind in the NBA coaching ranks.
Pass to Bamba. That shot missing. Johnson with some nice D. The Raptors have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far.
Well, to me, this is what Hollis Jefferson does very well. This guy, a phenomenal dunker with the ups he has.
Pass to Ross. Orlando moving the ball around. Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Johnson. Here's Bamba, and the shot goes in. Bamba's got 6. And with Clifford and the defense, he's excelled in that area his whole career.
Well, think back at both stops in Charlotte and Orlando. His teams have been really solid on the defensive end of the floor. They limit turnovers and second chance points, get back in transition, build the wall. It's becoming his calling card as a coach, guys.
DJ Augustine's checked in for the Magic.
First personal foul, team's 5th.
throw good, Van Vliet.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
The pass to Ross. And it's blocked. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Here's Davis. And that one hits back iron. The Magic trail by 4. Poked away. Johnson kicks to Van Vliet. It's stolen by Carter Williams. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Boucher's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. There's Hollis Jefferson. Doesn't go for him. And Orlando the other way now. And now it's Ross running. He can go all the way.
Well, this guy's going to find his way to get the ball in the bucket. Contact or not, Terrence Ross can flat score the basketball.
Johnson outside. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Johnson's got the lead back up to 4 now for the Raptors. Here's Augustine. Count that bucket. Augustine's got his 2nd basket of the night.
That ability to change direction, switch gears, stay in control. DJ Augustine doing it all on that dribble drive.
Here's Boucher. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. To the inside. Hollis Jefferson, good. And the Raptors lead by 4.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Augustine dishes to Aminu. Gets the bucket and the foul. That one on Johnson.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
The Magic have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10. And the Magic making a change here. Vucevic is checked in.
One shot.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. It's a 1-point game. Augustine with the steal for the lead. And he lays it up and in. Augustine's got 4 points this quarter.
Yeah, steal and points. DJ Augustine, great awareness. One reason he's been around the league.
NBA, and his teammates love him.
And obviously assists are the name of the game at the point guard position. And that's not lost on these guys. It's all about making their teammates better.
You know, you're right. Looking at some of the best teammates in the NBA right there, each of those players such a joy to play with because when they're at the helm of an offense, the ball's always moving, everyone's involved, the game just flows.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. He has 7.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
No good from Ross.
I'll tell you, his shot is just lost right now. There's just no consistency. Amazing that they're still up in this basketball game.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. He's covered by Aminu. Passes to Van Vliet. 5 to shoot. Tries it from 19. And it's Davis missing. Orlando leading. 7 feet, 260 pounds. Vucevic has all the power on that throwdown.
Well, the flashback to Ross's rookie year when he won the dunk contest. Give him a chance, and you're guaranteed to see something flashy.
Now here's Johnson. Count the basket. Johnson's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
It makes up for a lack of speed with just tremendous effort and hustle on that play.
1:16 left in the 3rd quarter. And Vucevic throws it down.
Well, the post game, the jump shot, Vucevic, a capable scorer who loves taking over on the offensive end.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Pass to Van Vliet. Back to Davis. Here's Hollis Jefferson, headed by Augustine. Hollis Jefferson, good.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot, hot.
And here's Augustine. 8 points for him. Floats one up. Got a piece of it. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. Marcus All's checked in for the Raptors. And a switcher also for Orlando. Gordon's checked in for Michael Carter-Williams. There's 37 seconds left here in the third quarter. Augustine passes to Ross. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Toronto trailing. 23 seconds left to play here in the third. Johnson, and it's blocked by Gordon.
How about the timing of Aaron Gordon? This guy has got the ability to rise up and send it back.
To the middle. Here's Vucevic, and he gets it to go.
Boy, the consistency he's had tonight has been impressive. Really steady from the field.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw drops for Vucevic.
We know this about Nikola Vucevic. He's a high percentage finisher. To me, the next steps, right? Improve your defense, be more consistent with range. And if he does that, he's golden.
Nikola Vucevic firing on all cylinders for Orlando. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. Back right after this. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Well, this is why, Greg, great point guard play is so critical in today's NBA, and you see it right there on display.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors. They trail by one. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. So for Toronto right now, on the wings, Powell and Anunoby. Johnson is out there with Marc Gasol, and it's Van Vliet in at the one spot. Now here's Isaac. Outside Fournier. Gordon against Powell. Poke loose.
I'll tell you, despite his struggles at the offensive end, this team still finds themselves in control of the ball game.
Oh, and here we go. Isaac's got the fast break chance. It's blocked. They retain possession. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Here's Van Vliet. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Augustine passes to Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
Well, the size is there, but the vertical is what really is eye-popping with Aaron Gordon.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered closely. Shot clock at 6. Here's Gasol. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Vucevic. And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Marc doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
First free throw is good.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Siakam is checked in for Johnson. And so he's able to get one of two.
Only down 2 now, but that miss might come back to haunt you. If they don't get a stop, it's back to a 2-possession game.
That's his second personal foul.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Augustine looking around. 6 on the shot clock. Outside Gordon. For 3, Fournier.
Well, he hasn't proven to be much of a floor spacer for them. He had the 1-3, but that was back in the first half.
Pass to Anunoby. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
The vertical of OG and Anunoby. Go ahead, sir. Finish with authority.
Magic have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. Now here is Augustine, covered by Van Vliet. Now here is Augustine. The 3. The shot will not fall. Good D by Siakam. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
And that one, good. Siakam's got 20.
And after what was just a horrendous shooting performance in that first half, they're finally starting to find their rhythm here in the second.
Now, here's Isaac. Another miss by Orlando. Powell against Fournier. Powell dishes to Gasol. Basket good. Gasol's got the lead up to 4 now for the Raptors.
You know, I've got to say, defensively, the effort simply hasn't been there this half. They've got to pick up their energy.
Augustine up top, guarded by Powell. Augustine, no luck.
I'll tell you, this guy is doing absolutely everything he can to get himself going, but the team is struggling because he's struggling.
Back to Powell. Outside for Gasol. And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Magic trail by 6. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket.
They get it back. Vucevic with the bucket. Vucevic has got 11 points here in just the second half.
Nikola Vucevic has averaged double-digit rebounds for the vast majority of his career. You want him to get to work on the offensive end? No problem.
Stolen by Gordon. One-on-one fast break. And he dunks it down.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
Big-time play right there, showing the activity and ability to impact this game.
Now, here's Siakam. And he makes good on the layup. Siakam's got 22.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Augustine passes to Vucevic. Gordon trying to break loose. And Gasol sends it back. Here's Siakam. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, great job to put it on the deck and draw the contact. You can see the versatility of Pascal Siakam's game.
At the line for 2.
No good on the free throw. Markelle Fultz is checked in for Augustine. And he's good on the second.
And that one miss shouldn't be too costly because he was able to make it a two-possession game.
With the floater. And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Fournier.
I'll tell you, Fournier with a good instance of focused against good defense. Pretty play. Well, put all that size to good use. Rip it off the backboard.
Isaac passes to Fultz. Now Isaac. Back to Fultz. He can't hit that time. Gasol with the defensive effort. Here's Siakam. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
That's his first personal foul. At the line for your Raptors, Pascal Siakam. Taking 2 shots.
Free throw good. Siakam.
You know, seeing an uptick in his trips to the free throw line, really, since we came out of the half.
Siakam hits them both.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Now here's Fultz. And stolen by Siakam. To the left wing. To the paint. Here's Gasol. And finished off by Gasol. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 12 rebounds.
Ooh, a forceful finish from the big fella.
Well, with a player for that size, you'd think he'd make the highlight reel more often.
Yeah, terrific effort. He obviously has the length to make those plays when he's being aggressive.
Now, here's Fournier. Powell in the high post. The pass to Van Vliet. And it's sent back by Isaac.
Isaac using every bit of that 6'10 frame to send it back.
Here's Fultz. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
Well, I'll tell you, I love that he's not afraid to take on the size mismatch there, Greg. It doesn't matter. Just make shots.
Here's Van Vliet. It's good. Van Vliet's got 21 in the game. And it's Fultz with the ball for Orlando. 7-point differential. Shot clock at 3. From deep. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. And Siakam throws it down.
Pascal Siakam, the efficiency, the willingness to go ahead and pile up some points. Nicely done here.
Charity stripe shot. Fournier's shot is off. Toronto leading by 9. Loads it out there for Siakam. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Now a timeout called by Orlando. The short rest, oh that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford had to say to his team. And he was emphatic. He said, we are not going to win this game playing this way, fellas. You've got to step it up. You've got to get aggressive. And you've got to battle to get back in this thing. See if that pep talk got him going, guys.
Thank you, David. That free throw, no good.
And the potential Anunoby has is exciting. Has the athleticism, the shooting touch, and the drive to keep improving.
And he ends up missing both free throws. Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have two candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable.
On defense, Orlando. Van Vliet with it. Siakam misses.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Now, here's Vucevic. Following the miss by Pascal Siakam. Just 5 to shoot. And Fournier kicks to Gordon. Isaac misses.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Van Vliet with it. He's against Gordon. Gordon with the defensive effort. Here's Isaac. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Well, Markelle Fultz continues to develop his floor awareness. Passes like that will create all kinds of chemistry.
And the Raptors call time here.
And sometimes from the outside, not always clear what led a coach to call for a timeout.
And as you know, it's what comes after that gives you some sense of what has changed.
Siakam against Gordon. Out to the wing. Fultz brings the double team. 5 on the clock. Here's Anunoby. And it's sent back by Isaac. Fultz with the ball. Davis is on it. That one's good, and the Raptor lead is cut to just 5 points on the basket from Fultz. Davis looking for an opening. Passes it to Van Vliet. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by Vucevic.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
1:22 left in the fourth quarter.
This guy's so polished inside. Nikola Vucevic, great at being assertive and earning these fouls.
Shooting 2.
So the first one drops, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. And both free throws good for Vucevic.
Tremendous job at the line as usual. You can always bank on him in those situations.
Siakam outside. They could use a bucket. Orlando grabs the miss. Inside, Gordon. Good D by Siakam. 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There's the 3. And the shot will not go from Anunoby. Orlando's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Gordon dishes to Fournier. Stolen. Fast break Toronto. Here's Van Vliet. Good!
Well, OG Anunoby is going to continue to develop his game, and that pass, that was pretty.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk. Now here's Fultz. Defense is right there. The shot, no good. And now we've got the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Well, you want to continue to build the lead, so a very productive trip to the line right there.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 7. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final. We've got 28 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Don't let the frame fool you. Jonathan Isaac is lean, but he is unafraid of contact. I love that play.
Jonathan Isaac at the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
Good on the first, and that trims the lead to 6.
You know, early on, Jonathan Isaac has drawn some comparisons to Kevin Durant. This is a long, athletic, multi-talented forward. He's got tremendous potential.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And the Raptors call time here. They're up by 5. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
At the line for your Raptors, at the line for 2.
Gets the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game. And it's Fultz with the ball for Orlando. And here's Gordon from outside. It's rebounded by Anunoby.
Got his hand out enough on that one to bother the three-point attempt. Great hustle on that one.
You know, we talk about this time and time again, trying to stay connected to shooters along the perimeter. Nicely done.
And so it's Toronto winning this one. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms